don't want to know about you and your cheeks and what you work, bro.
Well, you the one that
I asked the
you
legit
pointed
question.
out the draw first.
Him love to work his cheeks.
I'd rather be dead than dead broke again. See these doors that's been opening. Notice a change just from focusing. I'm really starting to feel dope again. Look, rose till the sun come. Mama knows that a sunset. Let's vacate with the sun shining and see the cuties in a sundress. I'm convinced I make history, so I shouldn't let the little things get to me. I should see any presents as a gift to me. I expect everyone to move differently. That's a major key. Can't afford to act anxiously. Just remain the same patient me. Just kick it with my team. Champagne, live, laugh. So much that you spanking knee. See?
Left the hood, live in Hollywood. Never Hollywood, you can never take the hood out me. Pop us a bottle, I'm drowning my sorrows. Them to the pain, we just pray for tomorrow. When they wanna talk, why they talking like we made it? Whole crew lifted and we still getting faded. Eyes low, baby, I can rest when I die. Cause I know my loved ones watching from the sky. Oh, I, oh, I. Rose till the sun come.
Rose till the sun come. Mama knows that a sunset.
Oh, I, oh, I. Rose till the sun come.
Vacate with the sun shining and see the cuties in the sundress.
Hey, man, this podcast is going a whole different direction than I planned.
Man, what's the first topic? What's our topics on hand? What we got on deck today?
Man, you know we can start right off the bat, bro. Let's talk about your man. You know, I've seen this shit. We need to talk about it.
Who?
We need to talk about what's going on. I don't really care about the situation, but how this stuff is being handled with.
Why are you giving disclaimers already?
Because I'm telling the truth. I'm gonna tell you what we talk about. I don't care about what actually happened, but the way it's being handled with August Alsina, and he dropping the whole diss track.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it.
I never heard the diss track yet.
I refuse to listen.
Was it a diss track? I didn't listen to it.
I think it's more or less his expose on what happened, and Rick Ross jumped on his side of the story.
No, I mean, I think he did make history because in the history of side niggering, has anybody ever dropped a diss track on the chick? No, I'm serious.
A side nigga diss track?
No, in the history of side niggering, has anybody ever dropped a diss track?
No,
I don't know. A score nigga diss track?
Yeah, I mean, did Al Green, did anybody from back in the day, Marvin Gaye, did anybody drop a diss track?
Was this his version of sitting by the dock of the bay?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm serious.
I just say I'm really upset that he's from Louisiana.
You upset?
And I'm upset that he spent his time in Houston, to be honest with you.
I'm really upset by that.
Did anybody hear it? Did you guys hear it? I didn't hear it.
So we've all basically refused to listen
I'm
to.
not listening because if you listen, it validates what he's doing.
So
there's a reason we don't validate
So
that
essentially, it really don't matter then. He dropped the diss track.
It does
and
matter.
it's falling on deaf ears.
Is it a feature he's on?
No, he made a whole song called Entanglements.
So it's his song.
It's his song called Entanglements. And
Entanglements?
Rick Ross is the feature.
So, Rick's song. Okay, I thought he was on Rick's song.
Well,
no.
Let me ask you guys this. As far as his diss track, why are we looking at it? It's business for everybody. So he dropped a diss track called Entanglement. Jada and Will, hold on.
It's a temper tantrum.
Jada and Will, they what they did was monetize off of it too. They having personal problems.
No.
Yes, they did. They put it on Red Table Talk, and if you weren't paying attention, the very next day they were running advertisements for their show on iHeart TV.
I'm not saying it monetized, but it was a response, right? He put this shit on the table.
You don't gotta respond to shit.
Well, what happened was
they've been considered swingers for 115 years, and they monetized that shit now.
But what happened
was advantageous.
What happened was after he released his situation, he told what happened. There were fake quotes coming out from them. People were saying that Jada said this, Will said this,
right?
And they wanted to clear it up. Now, granted, did they fucking monetize it? Did they fucking take it? Shit, yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, but look, regardless of who said what, the principle of you dropping a diss track on some man's wife, that's out of line. There's no reason for that. So that's just telling me we know you are hurt. You was in love with this man's wife. You dedicated yourself to her. You shouldn't have, but you did.
He got played.
You pouring your heart
out.
Hey,
man, look, that cougar pussy, he wasn't ready for that.
I'm about to say,
let's keep it 100.
I'm about to say that.
So let me ask y'all a question. Is that similar to what Usher did with Confessions?
No,
because Usher was talking this question. He didn't name drop.
Yeah, he didn't name drop.
He didn't name
totally
drop.
Different.
Well, wasn't that about what's her name? left TLC.
Chili.
It might be.
Wasn't it
Wait,
about
but you
Chili?
didn't tell the
whole
side
album.
chick.
Yeah, but he didn't come out and do a whole interview with he was leaving innuendos and all this other stuff.
Right.
Like, look, I think that August was on some sucker stuff, no doubt about it. I think he was on some sucker stuff, but I think they're all monetizing it. I think we're only looking at August Alsina monetizing it because to us, he a simp. And I agree, he out there simping, but he trying to make some money too.
You know, my question is,
Will on there about to cry.
What-
He held
Will,
that shit in
Will
for the
was not
camera.
about to cry.
Oh
Will,
yeah, he's an actor.
Will was
What's
high
his
as
album
fuck.
doing right
Will
now?
was not about to
Does
cry.
anybody know the numbers to the album?
He probably sold 10 more albums than he was going to.
Well, that made he sold 12 albums. Like, you know what the fuck that means?
12.
I'm trying to figure out if what he's doing is working.
Well, he's on television.
But
We're talking about
even
him.
if it's working, what is it showing? What is it showing with men nowadays that we at this point?
We hit an all-time low.
We hit an
I
all-time
mean, so
low.
now he just set a precedent. So the next time your side chick, well, actually, not even his side chick. He was the side nigga, so he got out of side nigga place. He got out of side nigga pocket. Jada didn't manage her side niggas. So we don't hear nothing about Will's side bitches because he got them under control.
We don't hear nothing.
Nothing. We don't hear nothing from them hoes.
You should make a side nigga
Or
dictionary.
side niggas.
The rules.
Don't make a diss track when you decide nigga.
Number one rule is if you do shit, keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
Cause you fucking up for everybody else.
He was trying to rebag the money.
So now he
He's trying to re-rock the money, y'all. Y'all missing it.
But see,
August is trying to.
here's the bigger issue.
August trying to get paid.
But here's the bigger issue. Now he can set a precedent. So when niggas is hurt, you know, they're already emotional and effeminate right now. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, you know what? I was in love with her. I'm hurt. I'm going to go to the studio and make a diss track.
But that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is like, oh boy got arrested today.
Yeah. That's
Who
the
actually
worst
went
case
into the house
scenario.
and killed a girl, killed his girl
The guy last
in the
week
bed.
that killed the girl at the gas station
Right, right.
and shot himself
So,
in the head. And
Jay, does August? What do we call? What did Will call him? Aug.
Oh,
That's how you knew
Look,
Will
look,
knew from the.
no, he-
Exactly.
Aug.
Lil
Will
Aug.
knew. They all knew.
let me tell you
but
something.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's
They
the deal.
capitalized right
Nobody calls they wife's side chick by his nickname.
there.
I don't give a fuck if he was
Especially-
your homeboy forever.
Especially y'all sitting across from the table from each other. And
Let me
she's
tell you
basically admitting
Let me
the
tell you,
entanglement.
y'all my homeboys. Jay, Delvin, Tyrone. Jay, I call you Jay every day. You fuck my girl, you become Jory quick. You know what I'm saying? Jay, Delvin.
You no longer Jay?
Fuck Jay. You
He
Jory.
becomes Mr. Jory.
Mr. Tino. Where the fuck is Tino at?
Man, I call him. Fuck that nigga. That's his name. Hey, if you, I don't got no name for you. He called him Aug.
Now look.
Aug. Where was that when we went on vacation with Aug?
Now, there are parts of what August Alsina is saying. I do believe the part where he said, "Oh, I had Will's blessing." I completely believe
I
that.
believe
shit.
it all.
Oh, no,
believe
that-
it all.
I don't believe
All
he
that
lying at all.
The part is he was doing bass shit with her. They was taking selfies. They were going out to award shows. They were
True.
probably sleeping under the covers together.
True.
What Pimp C said, on top the covers.
Lights on top of the
Let
cover.
me
Lights
ask-
on top of the
Let
covers.
me ask you guys a question. Do you? How old is August Alsina?
I think he's
27.
27.
27,
How
28.
old is Jada Pinkett Smith?
Old enough to be his mom.
You guys don't think that a 50-year-old got no? What was that song? The Power of the P-U-S-S-Y?
No, that shit's major. Like, I
Man,
understand.
look,
He
man,
understand.
look, she had
changed
that
his
young
life.
boy in a twist, and he was hurt. And then he said, you know what? Look, they over here living their life. She acting like I don't exist. My album gonna come out. He hated. Don't get me
She
wrong.
didn't claim him for a couple of weeks.
She acted like it wasn't true.
I got
couple
a son
days.
that's 26.
Uh-huh.
I seriously doubt that he would be
Well, your son
doing
is
the
solid.
same shit
Your
that
son's
this nigga
solid.
was doing.
He was look. He was raised
So
by a
where's the
solid
change?
cat.
Where's the change? Where we at now with these dudes?
You got
These
me,
dudes,
bro.
it's only some dudes.
Look, he
You know what?
didn't have
Nah,
an old
it's
man
more
to
than
give him a
well,
game.
you right. You right.
It's more than some. Like, at what change? Is it the lack of fathers in the crib? Like, what changed to where these dudes act like this?
Michelle Obama said it.
What?
Women coddle their sons and raise their daughters.
Yeah, I think cats have been acting like this.
It's
It
a
used to
fact.
be a joke, you know what I'm saying? At first, it was just about white guys, though. And now it's starting to expand. I think it was T.C. Kirkland said, you know what, a white dude, you go on a date that white dude, they'll do reconstruction on the house, they'll find you in the drywall 15 years later.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So none of this stuff is really, truly new. It's being articulated more. But what do you call it? That's what I was going to ask you. Is August
assness.
Alsina a hyper what do you call
hyper
it?
emotional,
A hyper emotional man.
hyper emotional man.
Yeah, he's a beta male.
question.
He's a beta male.
No question.
Yeah,
You think
yeah.
that's happening more and more with women wanting their guys and teaching their sons to be emotional, to teach them to deal with their emotions as much and
All
talk
that
and
toxic masculinity.
yeah.
But-
You think that's
Okay,
the
well,
case?
No,
she
I
was
think it's
messing
because
with me.
a lot of women are doing everything for their sons, and they're raising their daughters to be independent.
And
You know what I'm
strong
saying?
black women.
Yeah, strong black woman. Do everything for yourself. Don't depend
you think
on
the
man.
world helps that situation out?
Of course it is right now, especially.
Especially right now.
Especially
we live
right
in
now.
a time where, the softening of the man is being pushed.
The heterosexual man is being pushed out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a war on boys in general,
Yeah.
but
Especially black boys.
especially black boys.
Black boys or black men are leading the statistics on domestic violence resulting in murder.
Well,
Black men are by far leading that statistic.
this is true. And so what I want to know is, let's say we switch the situation and it was Jada out there dropping secrets about her and August Alsina. What would the situation be? What would we call her for doing
I know
that?
she wouldn't drop an album.
She wouldn't drop. She did. She dropped the table talk. What's the difference?
That was a response.
Man, come on. You could leave a response with a letter. You could leave a response to your
I
publisher.
think in this situation she had to say
But let's be
something.
honest about who Jada Pinkett is, though.
You had to say something. You had to do an hour-long interview or 30-minute interview.
Let's be honest about
with
Jada.
all the details.
It was like 12 minutes. But
What, 12?
let's be honest about what Jada is. Jada's the type of person that she don't give you some fake psycho bullshit to justify her actions.
Exactly. what
She's
she
always
did.
done that, right?
Right.
She's good at that shit though.
She's amazing at that shit.
And she's amazing.
She's like
at
Iyanla Van Zant point two.
What I'm telling
Nah,
you
she ain't that
guys,
good.
I'm telling you guys this.
Fuck that.
Just like
I love
August
Iyanla.
Alsina
I can't
dropped the
stand Iyanla.
record, they looked at each other and said, I mean, come on, let's be honest. We men, right? We are friends. Somebody cheat on your spouse, or even if they knew, this isn't something that everybody's willing to just talk about 4 or 5 days later in front of millions of people, bro. It's just not something that most people do unless that's your business. It's capitalizing on the moment.
But I
Trust me, I'm a nigga that know how to capitalize
You don't
on
think
the
she
moment.
felt like she had to do that?
Hell
No,
no.
I think Will did more than she did.
I don't
And
think
I'ma
Will
tell you-
did it all
No,
either.
I think he did. Let me tell you why.
He did. Will was being
Will-
basically Will was cucked in
Will's,
public.
yeah, so I think Will. I watched the interview with Will on Rap Radar a while back, and he said for most of his life before social media happened, movie stars kept their whole lives private because you had to be able to see them every time in the movies as that person. So you
Yeah,
don't want to
image to
identify with that
maintain.
person, right? You don't want to identify that character is Will Smith.
Overexposure.
Right? But since social media has happened,
Right.
fans want the exact opposite now.
Yeah, they want to
So
see you.
He has. That's why he flipped his Instagram page. That's why he's flipped the TikTok. He has gone the exact opposite direction of exposing everything, because that keeps fans engaged.
But they
And
didn't
this is
expose
Hold
everything.
on.
They still danced around
They
it.
danced around it, but to him, he let him in a little bit. If he'd have just kept it away, we gave you nothing.
What did you know you
traditionally
didn't
been
know?
a very private dude. Too.
Right, but he's changed over the last few years, though.
What do you know after that interview that you didn't know before the interview?
That she wasn't feeling good, and August gave her that wood.
you can assume that.
Well, I mean, hey, you know
I
that's
had
tough.
females on my Facebook posting like August little boxers and his shit and his
Yeah,
junk and all
man.
that shit. After that, like I want to be entangled with the nigga.
Oh, August, his
like-
stock is gonna go up with certain females. It is what it is.
Can he go up at the barbershop? Because that shit was terrible.
Yeah, he need to do something
I
with
told you
that.
this nigga out here looking like
The Wendy's,
Frederick
the
Douglass.
Wendy's, the girl off Wendy's. He had the
That
Wendy's
like,
hairdo.
like red off 5 heartbeats.
Yeah, that was ugly.
was
He
bad.
say Frederick
Yeah,
Douglass.
the Frederick Douglass. He made me laugh when he said that the first time.
Man, he did look like Frederick Douglass by the head.
Yeah, my whole thing though is this. Look, I think what August did was a sucker move. I think we living in a time where sucker moves is becoming a norm,
Facts.
and so I think what Jada and Will did was a sucker move too. I think he started off the sucker move, but I think if they wanted to address it, Will and Jada are eons beyond August Alsina. They could have just crushed it by not saying nothing or catering a statement directly to go to the topic. They made a production out of it. They did what we did: lights, camera, action. It was production. You guys don't look at it. It was commercials.
But she
ran.
had that platform before it
She-
started. though.
Yeah, but they was running commercials on that episode. Do she run commercials on every episode to the extent? They were
So-
advertising it on the regular radio.
I'm 50-50 on what they trying to capitalize monetarily versus put out a correct statement that made that because there was a lot of false information being put out there.
They left more falses. Look, she didn't just say, yeah, he was crushing, he was breaking. We had an entanglement. They danced around any information. They didn't say anything.
It's very hard for you to say, yeah, I was fucking this young buck.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, she wasn't gonna
if
come
you
out.
go,
And I was
well,
separated
then why
from my
do it
dude.
anyway?
Now, if
You
Jada-
came out and
she-
didn't
if
clarify
Jada-
nothing.
She wasn't gonna come out and say, "Yeah, you know what, America, August was blowing my back out."
She should have.
She probably should have.
Here's
Then
the
that
deal.
would have ended it.
It would have been the same.
He
to
was
me.
my side nigga, and he got out of pocket. And,
Blowing me out.
Yeah, and we're gonna move on. I cut him off, and he's butthurt.
That's what. Look, that would have ended
That
it.
would have ended it right.
But you
then
know
and there.
what? They didn't want to. You got to drag this out, baby.
No, let me tell you something.
You got to get money.
Only
you
way
gotta
I would
get
have seen it
ratings.
equal is if Jada would have made the movie Entanglements. If she made the movie
It's not too
Entanglements-
late.
Well, he already made the song, so now it's like,
You don't think she gonna come out with a
Nah,
remix?
She could make the fucking sequel.
Yeah, the sequel. See, look, this is how I look at it.
Let me ask you this.
In their perspective arena, they both capitalized on it in their perspective.
Let me ask you
arena.
this.
But August started it with his bitch assness in
Let
the
me ask you
beginning.
this.
What's happening?
What kind of pussy you got to get to be that goddamn butthurt?
to drop a diss track.
What kind? Like, how good is that shit gonna be?
I'm gonna tell you. See, this is the thing. This is why I'm confused. Because August already get the celebrity draws thrown at him.
Yeah, but it ain't Jada
But
celebrity.
it's-
draws. He
Okay,
get-
what did you
he
just say?
He get
Yeah,
he
Jada.
get IG tummy
Man,
T
look,
draws.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you.
He get tummy T draws.
Yeah,
He ain't
yeah.
getting
I'm gonna tell you.
he ain't getting set it off draws.
He getting D-list.
He ain't getting
IG
old Tupac
flat
draws.
tummy T
I don't
draws.
know.
He is not getting
Hey, but
Scarlett Johansson.
but
draws.
it's some
He's not.
D-listers that could twist them hips and throw that extra shit at you
It
too.
don't matter.
But they
let
give
me-
a dime a
I'm
dozen.
gonna tell you what Jada got.
But let me tell you something. You look in that mirror and see Jada face.
Jada got that Erica Badu shit.
This is what Jada got. Jada got that. I've been in Hollywood for 30 years. I've been in the parties. I've been in the back rooms. I know how the game go. I know how to satisfy people. We've been doing this fluid relationship type of shit. Jada know how to handle these cats. Y'all never been
But
to
that's
no
what I'm saying.
Hollywood party
She
like that.
should have managed her side.
She
piece.
couldn't. He was a young, sensitive cat. So that's what I'm saying.
That's what we talking about right now,
Okay,
though,
so
right?
look.
But that's what I'm saying. If you know you got a little young, sensitive nigga on your team, don't be fucking under the covers, ordering breakfast
So
in the morning.
that's what I'm
Don't
saying.
be doing bae shit, taking selfies. You
So Jada had
get,
some
get your
responsibility in
backbone
it
out
too.
and put him in an
So
Uber.
You think Jada just figured out that he was a sucker the day he got to crying?
Oh, she knew.
She been new, so that's my point. Her at what, 40,
I'm saying-
50,
hold
50,
up, what she said.
52 years
Hold on,
old?
hold on.
What she was telling Will. She
Well,
was
let's be
telling
honest.
Will. She was telling Will. We took him in, kind of.
Man,
Right.
Will was in on it too.
That's what I'm saying. Like they were
That's-
talking
that's
about
all
it.
a lie.
And she was like, you know, when he came, he was broken. He was broken.
Aren't we all?
She took advantage of him being broken.
She didn't
Okay,
take advantage.
look,
Bullshit. I ain't buying it taking advantage.
look.
Bullshit.
You saw what Boosie said?
Hey, she would have taken
Boosie said-
advantage of 27-year-old
Boosie said
Miles.
we use that
23-year-old Miles,
We use the
17-year-old
sick
Miles,
shit.
15-year-old Miles.
Get
I'm
the
taking
pussy.
advantage of.
Okay.
We ain't taking advantage of me.
Now-
I'm taking
Boosie
that
said I
shit.
did it before myself.
Now let's be honest. August Alsina already.
coughing and shit.
When did August
Hold on.
Alsina came out with what, a gold album, something like that? August Alsina, his first album did well.
I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something.
Well, hold on. I know you don't give a fuck. We're not calling you Og. But what
Call
I'm
me
saying
July,
is,
nigga.
like, I don't believe that whole we took him in because he was hurt. Y'all took him in. Look, they son came home with somebody. I think Will and Jada sized him up. Like, oh yeah, he sized him up. August was already in the
So
Hollywood
you think
scene.
they was like,
It was
this the dude that can keep you busy while I go do me?
we playing around.
Yeah.
That's what
He in
they
the house.
do. It's called playing. They was playing. August feelings got too into it. So all that we took him in because he was hurt. Yeah, right. You guys was doing the thing, and it came out. This is the ancillary story around it to try to just
But I'm,
push it
I'm,
back.
I'm with Devin with managing
Hey.
your shit. Like all four of us here, at some point in time, has had a girl that we just was kicking it with, and we saw the feelings start to happen. That we were like, oh shit, we got to back off of this, and we all knew how to handle and manage that shit in a fashion way to get out to the world. If you can't handle and manage what you got going on, then don't do it.
I think
Get
they
off the
both
fucking
was.
Off the
field.
gas,
I think
bro.
they both was. And I think
She took it. You know very quickly when it's gonna go left.
That's all I'm saying.
But she kept going.
That's all I'm saying. She knew he was a sucker a long time ago.
Hey, like true story. Like I was sitting, me and the wife was talking about the same thing, and we were just, she was laying. I was getting dressed. She was laying down, and we were just talking about it. It was like
Y'all was thinking about bringing it. Y'all trying to find y'all August.
And they didn't tell nobody. They'll be like, we took him in because he was sick.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
And I don't know how this entanglement shit happened.
No. So look, we were
Hey,
talking.
wife,
about
you ever
shit.
think you want entanglement?
We
You
were
ever
like,
seen
damn.
one of Tyreek friends you like?
We was talking.
Somebody's son?
Real talk. We were talking about the this feminine dude shit, right? It was like they got a lot of that shit going on. A lot of women are getting killed behind this shit, and we were like how can we? Because it's not being talked about at all in our community.
No.
So
It's being promoted.
it's not being talked
No,
about.
it's being heavily
been
promoted.
promoted.
It's happening too much.
Because a lot of women, a lot of moms, and I've seen it, they're raising their sons to be good sons and not good men. You're raising your son to be a good son to you, not a good husband or a good man to somebody else.
Even more than that, they raising their best friend.
You're
And
raising
that's the
your
problem.
best friend.
And then when he turns into acting like a
nigga.
broad at 13, 14, 15 years old, they want to go, what happened? I don't understand why he acts like
Well,
this.
I always tell women, I say don't raise your son like you dating him. Let him
That's
grow
not
up.
your man.
That's not your man. And that happens a lot because that attachment's like, well, we only here for each other. You'll see there's certain times there'll be a single woman and a cat will go holler at her and she got to figure out what her kid's going to say, what her son going to say, son at home. Like baby boy. That
Jody.
really happens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That happens.
That happens a lot.
But when you over coddle them when
Can
it's
I say I
time to
hate
go
that
out in the
movie?
world, they not ready.
It's a lot of lessons in Baby Boy.
Can
man.
I
You
say I
gotta
hate
go
that
back and
movie,
watch
bro?
it.
What's wrong with Baby Boy? That shit
movie's
classic.
terrible, bro.
But look, what else it does
That movie's
is
terrible. I watched it one time and vowed to never watch shit again.
I like
Don't
the
listen
movie.
to no nigga that don't vote.
Whatever, nigga.
But hey, what it does is it makes the men, they don't become men for other women.
Agreed.
Then they're looking for somebody else to treat them like their mom did. And so they don't have the ability to be that stand-up man. They only have the ability to be coddled still. You could be 60 years old and still be trying to be coddled. I mean, we all probably know people in that situations.
Speaking of that movie.
Speaking of,
I don't buy Omar Gooden as a gangster. I definitely don't buy Snoop as a gangster either. Much as a gangster as he might have been in real life, that shit was terrible.
yeah,
That vampire in Brooklyn gangster he tried to pull off in the movie
I
was
don't
terrible.
buy the gangster in real life. But, hey, I think that's the end of the segment. We got to wrap on that. Go ahead, Delvin. What's happening?
No, I was gonna say, a lot of the comments I've been seeing from female friends of mine about this whole situation have really been, they don't even care that if they're swingers or they have an open relationship. They didn't even care. You know what the women were talking about?
What?
He is a kiss and tell ass dude.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
he
still
fucking
gonna
up for
like him.
everybody
Some
else.
women still gonna like him. Some women
Right?
aren't.
But they know how to handle him because they, hey, you know what? He's a kiss and tell guy. We don't like him. I would never want something like that
But you know what it
on my
does?
team.
It makes women more hesitant to mess with other guys, thinking they're gonna be kissing tell dudes too.
Yeah, and look, Delvin, you said that he only gonna get D-list pussy after this, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it. I think you're right. I think a D-lister is gonna love being with August Alsina in hopes that he tells, because
No.
that'll help them. So August Alsina, he's not gonna tell on a woman that's beneath him. He's gonna tell on a woman that's above him. I'm
Exactly.
sure there's
And that's-
other
you
women
think
that
it's
have
gonna come out
twisted
too?
him up. This was a business move for August Alsina.
But you know what this
too.
really is?
But
This is like the Kim Kardashian thing when she put out the sex tape, but you're just doing it as a guy.
But and it worked.
You did the same
It
shit.
worked for Kim,
You're
huh?
just doing it
Worked for
as
Kim.
a grown-ass man.
That's a damn good segue.
That's true.
That's a good segue.
Well, because even Chingy did. You saw Chingy came out with that shit too. Chingy not come out saying he was smashing Tiffany Haddish. I'm just here to tell you.
I did see that.
Saw
I did
shit.
see that.
But the crazy part
I
was
did see
Tiffany
that.
said it a year ago and he denied it. Now all of a sudden he put it out. He doing it.
He said he smashed Tiffany Haddish.
He smashed
And if
Tiffany
you did,
Haddish.
you know what? That's awesome. It's not your place to put that shit out in the street because you're a grown-ass man.
I wonder if she told a funny joke. While
I'm
he
sure it was
smashing.
hilarious.
Relax, bro.
I
Nah,
doubt it was funny.
that was funny. The haircut ain't funny.
Speaking of Kim Kardashian,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
did you
Uh-oh.
see Kanye's tweets?
Oh,
Yeah, he
man.
wildin', bro.
So we moving on to Kanye, huh?
I mean, it was a good segue. So I'm just saying.
Kanye'zzle.
Kanye said
Kanye for 2020.
she met with Meek. He was mad because she met with Meek. And
Okay.
she met with Meek about, the reform, the prison reform shit. She didn't meet with Meek alone. She had other people with her.
Yeah.
But he took it as like, it's disrespect that she met Meek at a hotel. The dude is going through something right now. He's probably having a bipolar moment.
He's always going. His deal. Kanye is the type of dude that's going whatever he feel, he's gonna put it out there, and he gonna deal with it later. That's just how he
Why
is.
was he crying at his rally?
We just talking
Because
can't
he's
manage your emotions.
Yeah, he's
Because
very
he's bipolar.
but honestly, so along with the
Nigga is
bipolar,
fine. He just
so,
can't manage his
So hold on,
emotions.
time out. So I'm the one.
Nah, that
dude-
shit is a real thing though.
He's
He's
bipolar.
really bipolar, but I'll be the one that I'm kind of the Kanye apologist, and I'll be the first one to say, if Kanye talks about it, he's 1,000% passionate about it, right? Like he don't talk about shit he ain't
I agree.
1,000% passionate with. That's how he does, whether it be his
I had a-
music or anything. And so sometimes he takes it way too far. Kanye's methods are not always. I can't always agree with his methods, but most of the time I agree with what he's saying.
I had a college roommate that was bipolar. And one day I came into the house and the fucking front window was broken. And that motherfucker was laying on the couch with just a t-shirt on with no underwear.
Chilling.
That's awkward.
Drunk as a motherfucker.
Chilling.
You ain't move out? I'd have moved
I
out.
moved out that day.
Man.
I moved out that fucking day.
Look, when it come to Kanye, what I do is I'll listen to the whole sound instead of just the sound bites, because the sound bites are very deceiving. So I believe Kanye West, he'll drop gems, but he'll take a shit on them right after. And it'll be basically him not being able to articulate what he means.
I tell you what, the dude's a genius, and for him to say if Adidas and Gap don't let him on the board, he's pulling out of the deals.
Yeah.
That shit was genius.
And I
He's a
think he's
genius,
passionate about that.
That
and
shit was genius.
What we don't look at is now we see Nick Cannon lose his job for speaking some of the exact same stuff he was speaking, literally. All right, and so for Kanye to say that, that's letting your balls hang. A lot of people don't want to lose that type of money. We got to be honest. It's a lot of people that acquiesce to the moment.
15% he gets.
Yeah, and he's not on the board.
15% of all sales of Yeezy.
Yeah, but here's the deal with Yeezy though, and I just have no guys misinformation. information. He took that to 4 different places before Adidas picked it up.
Yeah,
And because that's how Kanye, he wanted it done his way. When he went to Adidas with it originally, he got a huge percentage, and do it the way that he wants it done. That's just how Kanye rolls. So he turned down PacSun. He turned down Nike.
He was
turned down.
already with Nike first.
No, they gave him those shoes. When he decided to do the Yeezy line of the actual everything, they said no because of how much he wanted. Because he proved that he could sell a product, he wanted more in, and they
Right.
said no. That's what he ended up with Adidas. So he actually has. So Kanye is like, if it's mine, and that's what no different than what LeBron has said. No different than anybody else has said. I'm the product.
yeah.
Pay me as the product.
Right.
Right? It's what Master P did. It's what Baby and Slim did. I'm the product. I'll give you a piece of it because I need you to distribute, but I'm the product. And you're not going to take the majority of it if I'm the product.
Hey, you know what? As far as products, man, this is a damn good cigar. This is a damn
I
good
was
stick
sitting through
right
the same
here.
shit myself.
This is amazing.
Oh man, and as you start to get toward the middle of it, you get a little more flavor, some more depth.
Burning very even.
Very even.
It's staying pretty medium.
Can I call it the Disco Inferno?
Still medium.
Burn, baby, burn.
Staying even, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Staying
even.
And the flavor's consistent. I don't know if I'm getting anything more than I got when I first lit it, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's great.
It's a great stick.
I mean, as solid as this is constructed, I might be able to win the Ash Game Championship.
The
between
Ash
two
Game.
men.
I don't know. I don't know. Champ
Just
is
might.
the Ash Game champion. King. King.
Man, fuck Champ.
King. Champ the sound man. He might throw something and hit
Man
you and
behind
still
the
be
mic.
quiet.
He gonna turn off your mic.
Champ just turned off my mic, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Look, but far as inconsistent, I'll say that's with Kanye. Sometimes he seems inconsistent
So
because
you think
he
because
don't.
he
li-
said you think because he gaps so
Because-
because he gaps so much that people don't respect when he does say some real shit?
No, Miles. I'm not.
I know,
I'm
over years,
I'm
I'm
saying that's why he seems inconsistent because he doesn't all the way articulate himself.
He's never all the way articulated
I know.
himself.
No, sometimes he
consistent.
does. Sometimes Kanye is very articulate. Like the
No, he's
interview he
always
did
very
with
articulate,
Charlamagne,
but
he was very articulate.
he's been-
In this instance, like in his press rally, he said, what did he say? He said, well, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, well, I didn't really get to sit down and think about how I wanted to say this, articulate this. He said, oh, well, fuck it. And then went on to just say what he wanted to say. So if he sits down and collects his thoughts, it makes more sense. but he'll get out there sometimes. Sometimes he'll collect his thoughts and say things. Sometimes he won't.
He'll get ahead of himself.
And that's why it seems so inconsistent. Now, what do you guys think about that where he said Rosa Parks didn't really
Rosa?
not Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman.
I was gonna say, bro, you
I'm
finna
getting my
fuck history
queens
up.
mixed up.
100
I know
years
I'm about to
too
get
soon.
canceled.
Too late.
Cancel Tyrone, cancel him. But don't call it. My phone gonna be off. I'm about to get canceled.
Say you're 100 years too late.
100 years too late. But yeah, Harriet Tubman, when he's saying,
One was
you
on the
know,
boat, one was on the railroad. Bro. Two different-
he
a
didn't
bus.
he didn't
I'm
really
fucking-
free the slaves. What you guys think about that?
He's 100% right.
Well, not all.
Ho.
Well, not all of them.
Stop. Hold. Explain yourself.
Because what he's saying is deeper than just the actual physical of freeing the slaves. Yes, he freed some people from bondage, but they went to another place and kept the same job working for the same people without any rights. That's still not freedom. He went.
You watched Harriet, the movie?
Yeah, I watched Harriet.
Okay, so you saw when she left where they went, right?
They went to Philadelphia and went to the right.
Okay, so
And a lot of
were there black people owning business in Philly at that time?
some, yes, but you mean to tell me that every black person she freed went straight to another black person to work for? No, it didn't work that way.
Well, see, look,
And the thing is, and even if they did, they still didn't have the freedoms of that land that the white folks did too. We still
So
don't
you're
have the
assuming
freedom.
Kanye had the depth that you have to make that assessment.
well, this is what I'm
Why
saying.
not? We the same age.
Well-
He went to the same. Like he went to college. This is simple knowledge.
Now-
but here's the problem. Hold on. Here's
Go
the
ahead.
bottom line. We're not free now, 100%. We don't have all the same. We don't have all the same rights. We don't have all. We're not treated the
We're
same.
actually number
Here's-
17th in the world in freedom.
Hold on, I'm talking about black people in America. I ain't talking about America versus everybody else.
Well,
So,
if
so-
you say black people in America, it's probably a lot lower than that.
hence the reason is what he's saying. Yeah, we don't want to look into and read in between Kanye's lines. We want to read in between everybody else's lines. So we got to look at what he's saying. What he's saying is it's no different than what he said about slavery was a choice. It's no different than when he went to Trump originally. You know, we look at Kanye's method sometimes.
He was trying to
He was
push a
but
prison
we
reform.
look at what he's really doing. So the reform in which he went to when he went to Trump originally was behind the 13th Amendment, saying the 13th Amendment needs to be ratified, which definitely needs to be ratified, right?
And he wanted
so-
to get Larry Hoover out.
Right, well, that too. But that was the original point of what he went for, right? So he's been pushing that issue for 3 years. That slavery is a mindset that
He's
we
been
have
pushing it prior to
been,
that.
Right, but in the camera, big time. In 3
Remember
years.
when he came out and he had on the Confederate flag? I mean, the jackets with the Confederate flag. And people forget. See, they reposted that now saying, oh, well, look at him. But when he came out with it, he was saying what we doing is we taking this logo, we taking this image, and we flipping it. We going to flip the meaning.
Right.
Instead of
But
them
I,
saying,
and I don't
Look,
agree.
look.
Like I say, I don't agree with that method.
But
But I
it-
do
but
agree
it's
with
thought.
the right.
But
I agree with the thought.
you understand
Yeah,
what he's saying.
But to Jay's point, what I think you're saying, what I'm hearing is, even if they weren't free to the degree where they had the exact same rights as a white person, when Harriet did bring them north, their situation did improve.
Drastically.
And nobody's saying it
From
didn't.
where
Nobody's
they
saying
were.
he didn't. But the
So-
freedom, but it wasn't total freedom. All he's trying to say is there has to be more after that.
Well,
Right.
and,
I don't
and
think
so
anybody-
so
but
I
it
think
was
and I
an
think
improvement.
and I think it was a metaphor for even today, because he's over there running for president today. So it's a metaphor for today. We got really complacent over the last 20
Here,
something
let me
years.
say this.
And there's been a lot. Hold on, I'll let you get to it, Tyrone. And we have
One day.
moved a lot. Eventually, we have moved a lot over the last 4 months. Not a lot, but we started the ball rolling because people have actually decided I'm willing to stand up.
that ball
and
has come to a halt.
Oh, hold on, no. Because for years we wouldn't do nothing. If something happened, we'll buy a T-shirt,
The
we'll
only
make a
thing different
Facebook post.
happened is white people got involved.
No. What happened
And we
was
bought T-shirts.
Hold on. What happened was black people got uncomfortable because of the dude we have in office. Because the image he's promoted has promoted racists to come out and be very comfortable in being racist, and which they hid.
Very
before.
comfortable getting fucked up.
Right. So now we've become so uncomfortable, we're willing to actually step out and say, hey, we ain't taking this shit no more. And so all he's saying is we still have a long way to go. We may have been freer than we were before. We have more ability than we did before, but we are still not equal in this country. And I think it's more of a metaphor than it is an exact thing that we're talking about Harriet itself. If we talking about Harriet and what she did was amazing. She didn't free everybody. She didn't get every black person taken to Canada and they just all started owning Walmarts. That shit didn't happen. What she did was she moved some people, they got in a better situation, and she's amazing for it. And the thing
She
is,
did what she could.
Here,
right?
let-
But hold on, and I'm done with this one. After I say this, history has taught us as black people to be happy with images. We happy with the Harriett Tubman
symbolism.
image. The symbolism.
Be
of Rosa
happy with
Parks.
incremental gains.
Right. Because of the image, they'll give you the image, the Harriett Tubman, Rosa Parks, the Martin Luther King, whatever it is. And then at that point, we're like, oh, yeah, it's being great, and we stop. Now I understand there's a lot more that has to be done, a lot more that was done. And I think that's all he was trying to say. There's a lot more than just that particular image.
Can I jump in? Malcolm Luther X.
You go for it, bro.
All
Miles
right.
X.
Neck.
When let me ask you this: if you in prison and I come let you out, did I set you free?
Not if you still got the mind of a prisoner. Of an
Are
inmate.
you still in prison? Are you free from the prison bars? Are you free from the shackles? If I let you out of prison, are
Here's the
you
deal.
free?
So-
I'm not talking about
Not 100% free, no.
Okay, so this is
You
what
can-
we're
still
doing.
can't vote, you
What
still
we're
can't get a
doing now
job, you
is we're
still
playing.
can't-
Nigga, answer the question.
Hold on. What we're
I just
doing.
said no.
What we're doing now is we're playing fast and loose with free, because we're taking free and we're putting it over the overall construct of black people in general. So yeah, when Harriet Tubman got the slaves, some of the slaves that she could convince to go up north, no, she didn't have a 529 plan for their kids. Like, yeah, if your kids want to go to college, come with me. But what she did was take them out of the bondage that they were in. And
I said those words exactly.
exactly. So what she did was she freed them from where they were from. She freed them from the iniquity that they were from.
And I don't think he was talking against Harriet.
And this is the thing. I agree with you completely. I don't either. What I'm trying to say is he didn't explain it like you did. And there's going to
No,
and
I
look,
agree with that,
and there's
1000%.
and this
That's
is
the
the thing.
problem.
That's the thing, because there's a lot of people that are not going to look into the nuance, Miles.
Hold on.
You
Could've
see,
got August
I
Alsina
agree
with
with
that
you.
Frederick Douglass
I- I-
haircut.
see what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
with that, but that's
You're
not.
assuming that he has the depth.
I
know
assume he
Kanye
has the depth too. I think
But
that's
here's
what
the
he
deal,
meant.
though. Here's the deal, though.
But
we're in a society of 140 characters. We're in 140 characters, so everybody's not giving all their nuances. People just saying shit, and people will interpret how they with the nuances into
Well,
it.
he did-
except when it's Kanye.
Well, he did actually leave nuance, but it always get cut right there. Because he did go on to say, look at Universal Records, look at the NBA. So he'll give examples, but the sound bites don't go to the examples. So if you do look at Universal Records, name a record company that you like. Cash Money, Young Money, whoever, even Death Row at one point in time, they were all under Universal. So what he's saying is, we don't own shit. We're not free.
Was Interscope Universal?
Yeah.
At one point.
One point,
yeah.
you can't. It's hard to name a record company that's not Universal. If you go far as
Universal, Sony, they same, they partners.
it's partners, and then if you go to the TV side, BET, VH1, all Viacom owns what we see is black music. They own the television side. Universal pretty much owns the music side. So when he gives those examples and he talks about the NBA, what's the percentage of NBA players that are black?
Fucking
187%.
85%.
Okay.
85, 87%.
Hey, 85, something like
so
that.
that's what he's saying.
So here's my thing.
But he didn't say it like
And
that.
that's
He
fair.
left too much in there
And that's-
for people to run with.
Right.
That's
And
fair.
that's the bipolar coming out when he say, "I don't care what you think. This is just what I'm trying to say."
And that's
If
fair.
you get it, you get it.
And that's fair, and I'll agree with you 1,000% on that. But the thing is, what I give Kanye is he's kicking off the dust on the street that somebody's going to pave.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Kanye didn't say nothing no worse than the two guys that are running that are the most popular. If you juxtapose what they said, he still haven't said shit
And here's the
as
deal.
bad as neither one of the
And
two
now it's
that are the most popular.
And what he
they
said-
all crazy. How about that?
And what he said,
All crazy.
what he said doesn't add up to what the other two have done.
No. Well, what Kanye West said was something that is very advantageous for the media to jump on and make a spectacle of. And when you juxtapose that with his emotions and him being bipolar, yeah,
Juxtapose,
put
yeah.
something next to
Spell it.
Yeah.
Fuck spell it. Can you look that shit up?
One example, then you have another example. Juxtapose.
JUX to pose.
To pose.
Damn, hey, somebody got an SAT book? I need to go back to school. This nigga here is juxtaposed.
This is Masterpiece Theater.
and he a teacher. Remind me
Ain't
when my
none-
kids
ain't
get
none-
to
ain't none
about
of
to go to Bow's class to
Is
remove
he
him.
actually on the ballot in Oklahoma?
Man, I don't
He
think
ain't on the ballot nowhere.
he's on the ballot nowhere.
He's
bro.
going to try to get write-ins. I honestly don't think that Kanye, I think he's serious in his own mind. I don't think he's serious. I don't think what he's doing is going to be fruitful
And
as
can
far
I-
as him running.
And here's what I think. I think he's doing the same thing Trump did 4 years ago, or 7 years ago now. I think, honestly, I believe his real push, or somebody's real push, is going to be 2024. Because if you notice, when 4 years before that, right after Obama started his second term,
Birther.
is when Trump started just popping up and stuff,
Yeah, birther.
asking for birth certificates and doing all kind of stuff. And it was like, what the hell is Trump doing here? We all look like, why is
Well,
Trump showing his face?
Trump's been nudging
So-
into running for president since the 80s.
No, they've been talking about running for president because he made all the money, and he's always said I wasn't going to do it and said why. But I think that he's really making a push, whether it be him or somebody else. He's kicking out the dust for something in 2024. I don't think it's really about
Kanye
Kanye's
West
slogan
will
should
never be the president.
Kanye's slogan should be, "You don't have all the answers."
So
You ain't got the answer,
you know,
Sway.
how, Sway?
At least
So-
somebody's admitting that.
So I'll say this. So this is why I say everybody asks like, would I vote for Kanye? I would definitely 100% vote for Kanye before I
You
vote
ain't
for
voted for nobody, man. Shut
So,
the fuck up.
Hold up. Here's the deal, though.
You
Let me
don't
tell
vote.
There's a reason, and I'll talk about that right now. Why I don't vote, and it's gonna go right into the same conversation.
So if Kanye was really on the ballot, you would go vote
yes,
this time.
I do it tomorrow.
So that would be your historic first time
Because
vote.
he's
It's
a
not my
rapper
first
and
time
you're,
voting,
and
but
you're
yes,
a
I do
fan,
it.
or because you feel he's qualified?
No, I'm finna tell you dudes why I'm finna vote. I ain't gonna call you the other word. Anyway, so this is why I would vote for Kanye in a heartbeat. I have a couple reasons. One, I honestly believe, and we've seen 1,000 times over and over and over, how rigged and how jacked up our electoral process is. They
True.
put it right in our face.
Hanging
Nobody,
chads.
no hanging chads. They
The
straight,
Russians.
all that stuff. Straight stole. You know, we went to bed thinking Al Gore was president one day. Woke the next morning he was somebody else.
Well, that's because he invented the internet.
Whatever. We've seen it 1,000 times on local level and on the national level. Nobody is rigging votes for Kanye West. I don't care what
No.
you say. Nobody's rigging votes for Kanye West. If Kanye West gets enough votes for him to I don't care if he wins, to make a hay, then I believe the process works more than it did before. That's why I vote for Kanye. And the second reason I would vote for Kanye on a bigger level is my vote is an endorsement. I support you. I want you to run the country. If I had to vote for somebody to run a cigar lounge, I'd vote for somebody to make a cigar. I definitely vote for Cerrone before I voted for Champ. Nothing about Champ, but Cerrone has experience. That's why I'm putting my endorsement behind it. If you tell me,
But if
hey,
somebody
hold on.
Go ahead.
Kanye
If
don't
you
have
had-
experience.
Hold up, I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. I didn't say you had experience. If you ask me what cigar to go smoke, should I smoke this one or that one? If you give me two cigars, they go trash. I'm gonna tell you don't smoke either one of them. I'm gonna tell you, hey, get this one because it's not as bad as that one. That's just not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say don't smoke either one. They both trash, right?
Right.
So Trump and Biden are both trash to me. I'm not putting my vote behind somebody.
I think they're
That
trash to everybody.
But people are throwing the vote because it's the lesser of two evils.
Well, because they
If you wanna-
scared the shit out of them.
But it's just the lesser of two evils. I don't want this dude, so I vote for this dude.
Who's lesser?
Nobody can say a reason to vote for Biden without mentioning Trump or Barack Obama's name.
And we have issued that challenge before.
I've issued that challenge for the last
Say why
3
you
months,
want
and
to vote
nobody's
for Biden
without saying that name.
mentioning Trump.
And so for
you
that,
can't
I'm
do
not
it.
going. As
Physically
much as I don't
impossible.
like Trump, I don't think Biden is any better. And so I think they're the same dudes. I'm not putting my endorsement
I
behind
mean,
that
you just
guy.
you have a two-party system, and that's what it is.
Yeah. it
Well,
is.
see,
not-
hold on. This is the sad part about
So
it.
if you had to,
Hold on, hold on,
to
look.
die by
Wait,
gun
hold
or knife,
on,
which
hold
one
on.
you taking?
Well, it's kind of like, you know what?
Taking Biden.
Well, it's,
I'll
No,
take-
if you had to die by gun or knife, which one are you
I'll
voting
take
for?
a gun. But look,
Take the gun.
I'll take the gun.
That's Trump. Then.
Yeah.
I mean,
So why the fuck y'all voting
well,
for Biden?
well, you know what? It's more like, you know
Who
what?
is y'all?
It's more like I'm at McDonald's.
Why are you voting for Biden if you
Look.
gonna take the gun?
Look, it's
now
more,
hold on. Look, let me go ahead, Delvin.
it's
I have a
it's like
question
I'm
too.
at McDonald's, but I want sushi. Well, you don't get sushi. You're at fucking McDonald's.
Drive off.
What you see on the menu, that's what you get.
Drive off.
Well, see, this is my thing.
Yeah, or drive off.
At this point in
drove
time,
off.
this is what worries me the most about all of this. We got Joe Jorgensen, another candidate, who is actually even-headed, says logical things, running for president,
I don't-
registered on time,
I don't know the nigga.
and it's a woman. That's
know-
the cold part.
I don't
So
know.
what we're doing
Do
is,
you know Biden though?
I know Biden.
What do you know about Biden?
well, hold on. But what
I know
we're
that
doing
he's
is
been trying to
this.
be president for the last
Look,
30
this what
years.
this what we
so
doing.
it's kinda
This what we doing.
What do you know about him?
We're feeding into the narrative of the extremes. That's all we're doing. Kanye is an extreme. Donald Trump is an extreme. Joe Biden's even an extreme to a certain extent. But when we have somebody who's not an extreme, nobody sitting on this panel really know who she is. And you guys are all intelligent men, and she's running for president, putting money behind her.
Never heard her name.
And never heard her name.
I mean, I've heard of her, but the fact of the matter is, nobody gets excited about room temperature water.
And
They get excited about really cold water
or real
and
hot
really
water. And
Nobody gives a fuck about room
And
temperature.
that's why we stay in this situation that we in. We talking about the lesser of two evils. Neither one of them are lesser to me.
At all.
At
They're
all.
Both evil and evil.
And then if we're going to talk about, I think at this point in time, the three people that we talk about most all got some type of mental health issue. All three of them. Joe Biden don't remember where the hell he is. Donald Trump, see, let's go back 4 years ago to this time. Remember, they were trying to see if Donald Trump was fit with his mental agility. They were saying that he might be mentally off. Remember? And then they didn't want to just pry too deep because, you know, you had analysts saying, well, we can't talk about the mental capacity of a president without him coming to get checked. But even his mental dexterity was something that was being challenged. Now Joe Biden's mental dexterity is being challenged. Kanye West's mental dexterity been challenged for years. So all three candidates are mentally off, and we sitting here trying to figure out which one of these off motherfuckers we about to vote for. That's the whole problem.
That's the problem. And my thing is this: if I gave you their
So
stuff,
what's the solution that don't come out at all?
No, here's the deal. So in the long run, I say in the short run, I say yeah, don't come out. But in the long run, I say you demand your vote be respected. And the minorities in America vote has never been respected because it's
you're
been
black. You're not black if you don't vote for Joe Biden.
Democrats know they can throw any Tom, Dick, and Harry in that joint. We're gonna vote for them.
All Democrats got to do is say racist.
At some point, because here's the deal.
Even though they'll be racist.
But here's the deal. Think about this. Hillary actually had the popular vote 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, 5 million plus.
Whatever it was, she had the popular vote.
She won California.
So imagine if we took the minority vote away, they don't even get the popular vote. So they got to actually come to us with something that we really want to get our vote. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it at work.
Yeah, and that's what Puffy was talking about. If black people weren't allowed to vote at all, Democrats would never win a national election, ever. Ain't gonna fucking happen.
Well, they're trying to by propping up the Hispanic vote. That's why we're hearing so much about DACA and we're hearing so much about, you know, just expanding voter rights for, you know, certain populations because
vote has been strong Republican for a lot of years.
But they're assuming if they allow them to vote or if they make these stipulations for them, then they'll give them their vote. The Spanish vote.
Again, that's pandering. That's like
that's politics.
That's like saying, okay, well, you know what? Well, fuck it. Let's lower the voting age to 12 and then nominate.
If they could win, if it'll help,
popular chick off the Disney Channel.
If it'll help, they might try it. That's what that pandering is. Politics.
You know,
you can't name a politician. You can't name a party that don't pander. My thing
100%.
is, go ahead and pander. We just have to make sure that pandering is fruitful, like you said. Hold them to the fire.
So basically, don't give up the pussy so fast.
Don't give up the pussy so fast.
We put that shit on the front street.
Or at least get the money up front,
off the top. At least look, it's like
and
this.
do something with it. But the thing is, though, and this is what I've learned. Even politicians that we know personally, I know we know them because we hang with them. Guys that we see, as soon as they get in office, they take the money and run from us. That's why I'm not huge on local votes either. They take that money and run from us because they got to answer to one or two people.
The donor
that
class.
Voted for them or people that give them money every day.
The money.
And they going with the money.
And the
We don't have
endorsements.
that type of money to support that.
We do. No, we do. I tell you what. Hold on. I know some members of the city council here.
So do I.
Now, hold on. And they started acquiescing on the police reform, right? And if you look at how much the police department donated to their campaign, $2,000, $3,000, $1,500.
Bullshit.
It's not what we think. But what it is they want that covenant endorsement.
They want the endorsement.
They want the endorsement. So they'll do things and they'll say things to get you, but when it comes down to it, they're going to move away from the public and go with them endorsements and the money.
But even with the public, like I've watched and I've seen with my own two eyes, I watched a strong black Democratic candidate who was a city councilman be a strong Republican supporter by voice, by me sitting there talking to you just like this. And I watched him take strong Republican dollars in a cigar lounge sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Money that I'm not walking up to him in the cigar lounge and giving him 20 G's on a check.
Yeah.
And that's what they giving him.
Yeah.
So we can say that.
And contracts.
Right, like legit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those people haven't done any improvements in their black neighborhoods they're city councilmen for. So
they made the cocktail party, Miles. Forget that neighborhood.
Right.
We moving up, Wheezy.
I agree with you.
That's
and
it.
so our vote needs to be respected, and it's not respected. And as long as we keep giving that shit away, it's like the girl in the streets, like you say, she give that shit away to you ain't working for it.
Look, this is my main issue with us as a whole. It'll be a year out. And let's say you do want to vote for Joe Biden. You don't tell this motherfucker, I'm going to vote for you, don't matter what you do. You never do that.
But here's the real deal. Joe Biden
that.
didn't want to run. But they knew that because of black folks and minorities love Barack Obama so much, we're going to stand behind Joe Biden just because he stood
No,
behind
no, not
Barack
all of
This-
us.
this-
not
Older
all of
black
us.
people
in general.
in the South
in general,
overwhelmingly went for Joe Biden.
Joe
because he
Biden
was
had
getting
done
his
anything.
ass
Definitely-
whooped
definitely
in the
the older.
primaries.
Yeah, I already told
Definitely
you.
older.
Joe Biden is weekend at Bernie's.
Real talk.
That's what. Yeah, he's weekend at Bernie's. You're watching it in real time.
Come on, Bernie. Get Bernie. Get him. Sit up.
You know, Miles and Jay holding him up. You
Yeah.
know, we got some shades on him and shit. You know, don't let the power go out and the teleprompter fucks up. Then he's done.
Oh, he gonna say nigger.
You know.
Teleprompter go out
What,
and
what
he
did
ain't on
Joe
his
Biden
pills.
say when Barack Obama was coming? They said
That he- oh, he's a clean,
he was
articulate-
clean and articulate
Look,
and neat.
What did he say about the kids in the, well, as a lifeguard,
man.
the kids were swimming and it was the first time I learned about roaches. He was talking about black kids
motherfucker.
and roaches. Here, let show people how to properly light a cigar then. Let's let Jay show you how to properly light a cigar. Show us how to properly light a cigar.
Show us the light skin way.
That's the light skin way?
I'm holding the microphone, bro. I ain't had time for all
Hey, man, so look, I done heard a couple light skin jokes today. You saying that Jay
zooming in on
drinking?
that? You should zoom in on that.
You say
So-
he drinking?
No, man, I joke with Jay about it. I actually hate colorism, bro. I actually really can't stand colorism.
I hate putting people down in general.
Period.
I don't really talk about people like that. Like with the homies, I'll clown the size of your head, Miles, because we friends. But when we get out and
Yeah,
we
they
talking
got no
about
life.
things like, you know what I'm saying? But we friends. But if it comes down to denigrating people, I
Ain't
don't
gonna
do
happen.
that.
I don't do that either.
Especially with black people, that's just not something I do.
Right.
I feel like how can you be pro anything if you putting down whatever comes after that pro?
I agree with you. So, Jay, let me ask you this. If I told you I was going to bring Guy to your house, you got a daughter, right? She's just went away to college. Congratulations. She graduated high school.
Congratulations.
If I bring this dude to your house who's openly racist, openly said we got to get rid of part of the black community, has 9 rape allegations, how far in his door would you let him go?
Come on, man. You really want me to answer that? Fucking
I do, 100%.
And wait,
Hold on,
before you,
hold on.
no. I'm gonna add on to that. And the same guy didn't want your kids to be able to go to good schools
Right.
either.
So
He wanted to keep them segregated because segregationists
in your
didn't
house
want
would you
black
let him
people
go?
with their kids.
I would shoot. I would shoot him on my lawn.
So why would you give him a vote for presidency?
because he's already got.
No, that's the problem. That's the issue
We got
have.
Joe Jurgensen. That's not
That's
all
the
we
issue.
got.
But look,
That's all they
Here's the thing,
tell us.
Most of those politicians, especially the ones that say, "Oh, well, I'm for school funding or for public schools," their kids go to private school. They are not sending their kids
At all.
to those schools where they want to send your kids.
At all.
Oh.
I don't care if Barack Obama on down. Take your pick.
All of them.
Their kids are not going to school with your kids.
At all.
The Obama girls are not going to pick your school. Madison,
Worthing.
They're not going to
JY.
Worthing?
None
They're
of
not
that
going to
shit.
Yates?
Absolutely not.
If the Obamas lived in Katy, they would be going to Katy High.
No, they
Hell
wouldn't.
no.
They first of all, they wouldn't live in
Fuck
Katy.
with
They-
you.
I'm
The Obamas
not
would live
going
in
to school with you peasants.
They live in Memorial and they be at St. Agnes. I'm just
You
gonna tell
peasants.
They'd be at Episcopal.
They
We got
might-
great
they-
schools in Katy.
They
We
might,
do.
They might.
But they're still not good enough for the upper echelon.
They-
Them
they-
dudes
they-
not
I
sending their kids
don't
with
care
your-
what y'all say.
They might slum
Believe
it
what
in
you want.
Bel Air, maybe.
Nope.
Hell no.
Nope.
Hell no.
Nope. That's too much
Episcopal,
access.
Episcopal is 2 miles away. They ain't
That's
gonna
too much access to you regular people. I can smell you. They don't act like that, but they live like that.
Are you
I know
talking
black
about the unwashed
politicians
masses?
that don't like being around black people? I do not think that they would send their kids to any type of regular public
What
school.
Not
school?
at all.
What school did Renee Zellweger go to?
Katy High School.
Okay.
She became an actress, dog. She a regular chick. Who gives a shit?
Who is that?
Renee
Renee
Zell.
Zell?
Renee Zellweger.
Y'all know I don't watch TV.
Patrick
like that.
Swayze went to freaking Wall Trip, but you ain't sending your kids there.
The chick from what's the movie with
Russell
Crowe?
She's the girl from Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Where her kids go to school?
That's not Katy High
Not
School.
Katy High.
A private school somewhere.
She don't live in Katy no more, Sway.
They don't go. They don't go to no public school.
Here, how about this?
Pull that.
Name a local politician kid go to a regular public school.
Not
I
now,
know
though.
one, but I know most of them don't. And the one I know, they're new to politics. And they like, man, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
They'll talk all that. Oh, I'm for public school. I love the schools to teach. Their kids are not going to school with your kids. It's not.
Period.
They're not.
Man,
Point blank and
when I
period.
ran for school president in the 5th grade, I promised everybody pizza every day and no homework. You say all kind of shit you don't mean to get what you want. That's what they do is politics.
Did you win?
Hell no.
Let's talk about this goddamn cancel culture. All right.
Cancel Biden.
I'm canceling everybody.
Oh, we can't. Oh, say so. Before we jump off Biden and Trump, so are y'all saying, y'all three saying, y'all not voting at all this year?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm voting for Joe Jurgensen or if
Kanye West.
we come down. I'm not voting for Kanye. See, my thing is I'm a policy person. When Kanye is talking about what he say, I'm gonna give every woman $50,000 for having a baby or $1 million or something like that. You're going to have to talk about how we're going to generate that money. You're going to have to talk about
Money's not real.
Money's not real.
Money's not real.
Well,
Money-
send them crypto. Do whatever you want.
Money's a number on the computer right
So-
now. They control us.
Yeah. We got to figure out how they're going to move them
So
numbers.
you're
called-
voting
it's
for
called
Jurgensen.
typing.
You're voting for Jurgensen.
Unless somebody else rises from the Phoenix that makes sense. It's not over yet.
So
We're going to see what happened at
okay.
the convention. I
You're
think
not
they
voting
all
at all.
going to drop out.
You're not
Oh
voting at
no!
all.
So currently, I'm not voting, but I'm not gonna look at this Joe Jurgensen chick because I like Tyrone. Tyrone makes some points. I'm gonna go.
Just
research
look
some
her
points.
up.
I'll look her up.
She's a libertarian.
I will vote for somebody
What
that,
about you,
that
D?
my vote is valuable for.
I like the Joe Jorgensen chick. I mean, she got a lot of cool stuff. I'm generally about whoever's going to stay out of my wallet and out of my bedroom.
She's a libertarian.
We're good.
Joe Jurgensen could be your August Alsina.
Could be.
How would she look like?
No,
August Alsina.
August Alsina. Yeah,
They might have the same emotions too.
yeah. If
Nah,
August
don't do
Alsina
that.
was a middle-aged
Keep
white
out your
woman, that
bedroom,
would
bro.
be, you
Keep out
know.
your bedroom, bro.
Yeah, if she was a middle-aged white woman, he looked like
And
Joe
on top of that,
Jurgensen.
yo boy talking about bringing Kamala Harris on ticket, and you know how we feel about that.
You know how many people I
Fuck
know
her.
still in prison because
Fuck
of Kamala
her.
Harris?
Dad, what you
Real
been?
talk.
What were you doing in the hood to know all these niggas in jail?
I know a lot of niggas, period. you know,
Anyway,
Yeah, I had a life before media. I was,
yeah, you know, hey, hold on, man. Look, in fact, I got a partner that called the show, and I'm not gonna say his name because he be calling from the pen. I don't want to, they be
Right.
took his little cell phone and wrap him up. But he got caught up in all that Kamala Harris stuff. You know what I'm
the
saying?
three strikes and
Yeah,
all
she
that.
was throwing people in jail behind weed
You
and all
support
that.
the 3 strikes and out thing? The 94 crime bill, you support that?
Fuck no.
Joe
And
Biden
look,
wrote it.
And look,
no.
and
Okay,
and,
I'm
and,
sorry.
but
But
hold on.
But he had no he's blatantly come out and said
He backed it
he
up.
still backs it up though.
And at the same
there have been a lot of
time-
people that voted for it. Bernie Sanders, a lot of black politicians, senators that voted for it that said, "Hey, we made a mistake."
The Black Caucus supported that shit overwhelmingly.
Not
they
all
did.
of the Black Caucus.
all the
though.
Black Caucus- but
And
most
let me-
of them did.
But hold
And a lot of
on.
them came back and said that
Most
we
of
made
them
them.
did, though.
A lot of them came
Hold
back
on.
and said we made a mistake.
Hold on.
Joe Biden has doubled down.
Hold on,
it.
1 second. The Black Caucus, I don't give a damn what the Black Caucus is. What? A bunch of people in Congress. So they got things
sending
that
their
they
kids to private
sending their
school.
kids to private school. It was somebody running in New York, I think like the 14th district or something. I can't give the exact district. And he was a brother. His last name was Bowman. His name was Jamal Bowman. Look it up. And he just got elected and against the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus, they threw their support behind Engel, the white dude that had been there for like almost 40 years, 39 years. He don't even live in the district. He live in Pennsylvania and represent New York. Jamal Bowman lives in that district, started a school, got graduation rates, doing things for people in that district. Who did the Congressional Black Caucus get behind? The old white guy that been there forever, not
Can we
doing
get Jamal
nothing.
Bowman run for president? I'll vote for him.
But Jamal Bowman won because the people in that district overwhelmingly wanted him. See, we talk about the Congressional Black Caucus, we never pay attention to what they do. The Congressional Black Caucus do whatever Nancy Pelosi say to do.
Or
You
where
could
they-
go look
where
at
they
their
live.
votes.
And you correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
Maxine Waters. I know she doesn't live in South Central LA. Doesn't she
Nah,
live up near like
Maxine Waters
Fairfax?
don't live in
or-
South Central. And then go look at all the government contracts that her husband get. Go look at Ilhan Omar. She's on the Congressional Black Caucus.
Where does Sheila Jackson live?
Sheila Jackson, I don't. She
has to keep getting that French roll.
She
got to live in third
yeah,
ward.
Sheila Jackson, she right behind
that's fine.
Turkey Leg, her third ward.
But Sheila
I
Jackson
see
ain't
Sheila
gonna go
Jackson.
against-
I see her often. Yeah,
But she ain't gonna go. She ain't gonna go against whatever keeps her vote going. She gonna make sure her
no,
vote.
she's not, and it's hard for me to say that because I run across her. But I'm gonna say no, she's not. You know, they're all going to do what's advantageous for the party.
Themselves.
Period. Point blank.
For themselves.
No. Their sales is encapsulated in the party.
Right.
They're going to do what the establishment wing of the party wants to do. And then, too, like when we talk about congressional caucus, Ilhan Omar, go look at what she's been doing with her new husband. The guy she was cheating on her husband with another cat, right? And so what she was doing was funneling a whole bunch of money
To the side dude, to August.
to him.
To
right?
August.
To her August.
Right. And then
He ain't
she
make
left
no
her
song.
husband and
he
got
is not
back to
making
the
a
dude
diss
she was
track.
funneling money to.
Right.
Yes, but you can move after you
After
win.
you win, you can move.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and living in a district is tricky too, because then it also matters how much time do you spend in D.C., how much time do you spend in your district. But I
Right.
will say this about Sheila Jackson: she does spend a lot of time in her district. The
No
first
doubt.
time I
She
ran
work
into
at
her
Denny's.
Yeah,
was
she's
at
here.
a club. They came in a
No,
club.
the first time I worked with, she actually does her work.
First time I met her in person was at 5 Central.
First time I met her in person was at Denny's
I met her
on Southmore.
I met her at Faces. Sylvester Turner was running for
At Faces?
At Faces, Sylvester Turner was running. I think
Damn.
for election or
She might
re-election.
get my vote here on out if she hanging face.
And look,
Yeah.
they went in there,
Like, that's all I
grabbed the
needed to hear.
microphone, and was
I won't even
encouraging
hang
people to
faces.
come vote. You see what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, she do know the appeal. She know what to do in the hood.
No,
She
she's
know
a hell
how
of a
to get
politician.
people. What did you say? Politician.
She's a politician. She's a hell of a
Some
politician.
people are great politicians. Barack Obama, in my opinion, is the most skilled politician to walk the earth right now. Barack Obama could pull strings without you even knowing. Barack Obama told Pete Buttigieg, drop out the race. Amy Klobuchar, drop your ass out the race. Elizabeth Warren, stay in because you're going to pull some votes for him. We need this establishment candidate. Barack Obama pulls strings. Clyburn, you get out there and say, we love old Joe. Barack Obama is a genius when it comes to pulling strings.
Right.
Because look, we
That's
got to
that
be
Harvard Law Review.
Because look, we got to be honest about where we are as a people politically. We're party hacks first and blacks second.
See, second.
And and we got to be honest about that.
No, you're right. I sit there, I listen to people call all the time, and I listen to their beliefs, and and their predilections, things they really, really believe, and I'm listening to them, I'm like, you're a conservative. Everything you're saying is a conservative. They'll be like, well, I don't know about these gay
Barack
people
Obama's a
taking
conservative.
over. They'll say, I'm keeping my guns, all this gun stuff. But
Yeah,
so on all the issues,
on the micro scale they are.
yeah.
On the macro scale.
Well, no,
No.
They're on the macro scale they are, but their votes are going to Democrats.
Right,
because
they're supposed to.
because the Democrats are going to scare you on race.
Right.
Period.
And it's funny, like, and I had this
Barack
conversation with my
Obama ran
mom
on a ton
one
of Reagan
time.
stuff.
I had this conversation with my mom one time, and we were talking about just, like politics and what's going on kind of in the world and everything, and, welfare and things like that. And she was just going in. And you would think you were listening to a conservative, but that's her opinion on her experiences. But on a larger policy scale, she'll say it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things we haven't really reconciled.
It
yet.
goes back. This is kind of what Kanye ties back into to slavery mentality. It's the mentality of supporting what we've been told to support versus thinking for ourselves. And
Right.
it goes back to what Kanye is originally saying, whether he said it all the way out or not. And that's what we don't do. We don't think for ourselves. We think for ourselves in the living room with our beer, but at the same time, when it's time to get out and do something, we do what the masses say.
And just adding on to that, we don't own shit. We are
That's it.
slaves in a certain way when it comes to as a collective.
Them numbers are they're horrible.
But Kanye isn't articulating that. I do agree that's what
That's
he means.
fine. And I agree with you.
But-
his
but he's
articulation.
not
And I've always said
articulating
Kanye's articulation and his methods are terrible, but what he's trying to say and what he's doing is absolutely 100% true.
So do you agree that he'll drop a gem then take a
So-
shit on it?
No doubt. No doubt.
So
No doubt.
So you actually think he'll make the needle move from that $107 trillion of wealth here and we own 2.6% of that.
Nah, he
You
gonna
think he would move that
give he gonna
needle?
give most of it to women having babies.
No,
he
I
gonna
don't
give
think it's
a
not
$1
about
million
that.
to
So
every
for
woman
Kanye,
having a
for me,
baby.
it's not about
Where
him
that money
actually
coming from?
Yeah,
You
he
know how
getting
many
it.
babies
It's
was
not
born
about him
today?
actually making the needle move policy or financially wise.
It's all about economics.
But no, it's not. Economics the quality of your economics and how you handle that comes with the knowledge.
Okay,
And,
okay.
hold on. Before you get to that knowledge of all that information you're talking about, you got to have a certain understanding of who you are, where you are, and where you want to go. And we don't, as a people, know who we are and where we are. You know who knows who we are? They know who we are. That's why they can do the things they do to us, because they know
They
us better than
study
we
us,
do.
analytics.
We don't know us
algorithms,
well enough.
We know. I don't know if we always want to admit what we know, but we know.
You know what? It's about economics for us in this room, because all of us in some form or fashion are fairly successful. All of us in some form or fashion aren't living check to check. All of us in this room, some form of fashion.
Speak for yourself. But wait, no,
I'm
my
not.
check
I'm
right
talking about
there.
y'all. I'm talking about y'all. I'm not talking about me. But I'm saying the people in this
about
room.
me.
people in
Tyrone
this
said he
room,
need his
stimulus quick.
his
I'm about to
stimulus.
ask. I'm gonna
But
put a
here's what I'm
bucket
saying,
out
though.
here and try to get donations.
He
in
said
a
his
minute.
Corona
Hold
check
on.
got lost
But
in
I'll
the
say
mail.
this,
You ain't got the money yet.
But I'll say this though. I'm privileged enough to work inside of the community of people who don't have anything, and the mentality that goes along with not having anything is bad. And I work with the kids, but speaking with their parents is bad. And so that's a majority. As bad as we want to say it, as much as we don't want to talk about it, there's a lot more people in that situation than we give credit to.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about finances. It's about mentality. I got you, champ.
Big part.
It's about mentality. And I always get this scenario. We all live in 2,000, 3,000 square foot houses with 3 or 4 people in them. So if you take a block that has 10 houses, it's 40,000 square foot of living space with 40 people in it. Go to New York and see what 40,000 square feet will get you. And it'll get you 1,000 people that don't have the mentality that y'all have.
Well,
The
look-
numbers are overwhelmingly on the other side.
Well, I
what
agree.
Kanye does is start the needle of thinking differently. And we have to impart the thought process. Even if it financially hurts me, the thought process financially hurts us in the future.
He need to
The
let you
things-
speak for him.
The things we had in the people who
Yeah.
fought the civil rights movement and died, those ancestors we talking about that died, they didn't die for themselves. They died for us 40, 50, 100 years later. They knew they would never see the process of. They would never see the progress of.
Do we have people willing to do that shit today, though?
That's my
You
point.
have
Is
some.
that
I
so
think
we
Kanye
don't.
is willing. He
so
just can't
right,
articulate.
right. He can't
and he's
articulate well.
bipolar.
Yes.
Don't miss the bipolar part.
So the thing
it's
is,
there.
So the thing is, we may not be dying in the streets for a future for our grandkids, but we can change the mentality for our grandkids, and that's exactly what Kanye.
Is it even worth us still being here right now, trying to fight for the crumbs that we got right now?
Unless we all gonna pack up and get in the minivan and move off somewhere, then we gotta do what's best for our kids.
Because I got a 3 years ago, I started planning a potential exit from this country.
Oh, I have too, no doubt.
And I got
But
it
that doesn't
mapped
change
out.
the masses,
I think
I
though.
we
got it
could-
mapped
I-
out, and I started 3 years ago. So you tell me, do you think it's even feasible for the 15% of our population to say, fuck this, let's take this $3 trillion we spend every year here and go somewhere else?
You gotta change the
Well,
mentality.
well, hold
first.
on.
Yeah,
Look,
and
that-
I agree.
hold-
I agree
You
with
gotta
Miles.
change the
I agree
mentality
with Miles
first.
on the mentality
Uh-huh.
because if you think, you know what, my life is a fucking mess here, but I'm gonna go to Ghana and get my shit together. You're not.
It's not
You're
gonna work
still-
like that.
You're still you.
Mentality.
Look, hold on, and then two, even
You're
going
gonna
to
spend
that.
your money on beads
Let's
instead of
say,
Jordan.
Yeah,
let's say we all.
you're gonna be tricking in Ghana. It's
Let's
the same thing.
let's say we all say, you know
It ain't
what?
tricking if you got it.
we all going
still
we all
tricking.
gonna pack up and we going
You can do a lot of tricking in Ghana.
we going trick in
that out
Ghana
there.
Your
as
tricking
long as we
goes
get some
further than
spade
your truth.
cigars.
You ever
If
seen
dollar
it-
goes
look,
a long
look.
You
way
ever
in
seen the
Ghana.
women in Ghana?
Oh
You ever
man.
seen the women in Ghana?
Stop.
They gonna
I-
trick even more. In
More.
Ghana, bro.
Look, so
Yeah.
if we say we going to Ghana, as long as we could get spade cigars when we want it, we got to think about what Miles said a second ago.
They don't
you
look.
ship to
Wait,
Ghana.
wait, hold on, one
There's
second.
literally not one cigar
I'm
lounge
gone
in
then.
Ghana.
I'm out.
Well, hold on. Let me say this though.
We can get spades
Going to what
in
you
Ghana,
said.
so we're out of here.
If everybody said we're gonna pack up and move to Ghana, how many black people are going to financially be equipped to pick
Well,
up and move
so
to
that was
Ghana?
the point. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? The people that can do it, if they got together and said, let's get out of here.
That ain't gonna fix shit, Jay. Because it's not the people who can do it that got the mentality. It's the people who can't.
And even if you tell them, hey, I got your
But the people who can do it are the ones that's gonna make the most.
But Jay, go back to mentality. Even if you take the people who can do it and say, hey, I got the ticket, I got the flight, I got the place for you to live, for you to start over to the people that can't, right? Let's say they scholarship that to the people that can't. The people who can't only know what they know. So it's hard to walk away from what you know for the last.
What
30
you
years.
talking about is the difference between black people and niggas. Okay, so let's take all the black folks out.
It's not about black people and niggas. It's about
do the Chris
mentality
Rock
and
in there.
exposure. Some people don't have the exposure. I just say I work in these communities. Here's a prime example, right? And then we're gonna get on to the next topic.
I'm from
But
these communities.
We all from these communities. We all from these communities. And some of us make it out and some of us don't. But here's a prime example. We took some kids to Tom Bass Park,
Right.
right? Kids from Third Ward and Sunnyside to Tom Bass Park.
Right.
When they saw Reliance Stadium, when they saw 610, they were baffled because they had never seen it before, ever. They didn't know that was there. When they got to the park, a kid literally asked me inside the lake in Tom Bass Park if there was a well inside of it. Their mentality was they had no exposure. They had never left their block. So you telling me I'm going to take a kid and send them to Africa, or a family, because it's not just a kid, it's a mom, it's a grandparent that never left their block, and say they don't know anything. They know nothing. And the thing is, that's who the politicians prey on the most, because they put a D next to somebody's name. You're going to go punch that ballot because we tell them your ancestors died for you to punch that ballot. And they're just punching ballots next to D's. They're punching ballots next to who they say they should, because they don't
And
have
the ancestors wasn't punching ballots next to D's.
No, and because they don't have the time or the mentality to research. They don't have the time when you working 4 jobs to take care of 2 kids. You don't have time to
You're
research.
not home with the kids either.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have time to research 40 local
Yeah,
candidates.
you're in survival mode. You're not saying, you know what? Let me take some time and look at these policy
well, look,
papers.
And on top of that,
They're not.
A lot of it
so
go
let me
back
ask
to
you
what
this.
Miles was
So let me ask
saying,
you
though. When you are on the lower end of the economic level,
You're not reading white
you're
papers.
worried about eating.
You're not reading white
You're
papers.
not worried about, like, you know what?
30
What policy
You know what they
proposals?
face-
did-
you know what-
just listen to Don Lemon.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
That's it.
if they do that, you know what COVID found out with 35% of the Houston Independent School District? 35% of the Independent School District did not have Wi-Fi access. They didn't have internet access. So what are they researching it on? They can't even afford the Wi-Fi. They can't get on their phone and Google. They don't have the Wi-Fi to do it. Kids I work with could not complete their work at school during the last 2 months of COVID because they didn't have a computer, a laptop, a phone, or Wi-Fi access to actually get to the information.
Remember,
Hey,
Delvin,
man.
We take for granted.
I
the
was
stuff
talking.
we take for granted.
I was talking about. I went to Best Buy a couple weeks ago.
How are they playing Xbox?
Look. Everybody's not though.
Everybody's
and,
not.
and
Shit.
some of them are playing and it's not online. That could be something you got
But
years
that's the
ago.
mentality. If I get money, I don't buy Wi-Fi. I buy my son an Xbox.
But look-
when they got, I tell you, I went to this neighborhood because we were giving them food and we gave them laptops, we gave them hotspots. I went to this neighborhood. It was an apartment complex that had 92 buildings. 92. That's not an exaggeration. That's an exact number. So you know it was a true hood, right? And it was right there. It's not too right off 90 in Beltway. 92. When it was right after they got the stimulus checks. You know what was on there? A ton of TV boxes in the
Look, hold on. I'm gonna say
Because
something
they
to
bought
that.
their money.
I'm gonna say something to that. I get it, and I understand that that's the mentality. But if you never had shit,
You don't know how to handle
sometimes
shit.
and it's not even that you don't know how to handle shit. Is because see, I think when people do their maturation, we forget that we went and bought shit. You know what I'm
Right, we
saying?
did.
So you got to get that out of their systems first. And if they don't have a constant flow of things, they never understand.
If you
it.
spend 15 years not having shit and somebody give you enough money to buy a TV,
You
I'm
gonna
go
buy a
take that
TV,
Right.
If all, and then too, you got to look at what's being represented as far as what we're seeing. So if all you're seeing is Jordans and gold chains, and that resembles success, when you get money, you're gonna get that because nobody rapping about a good Wi-Fi connection.
Right.
Nobody talking
and again-
about rapping about here. I'm rapping about this wonderful book, y'all.
Well, and that's what we
That's
talked
not
about
it.
before. That's on us. Nobody's going to come in from D.C. and say, look, this is what you guys need to value. That's on
true.
us.
But let me ask you this though: what if somebody came in your house right now and
You
said,
always
"Oh,
sending people in your house.
no, I'm saying, but if somebody came over,
A lot of people at your house.
a
Right.
lot of people in your
So,
house.
Joe
what
Biden's
if-
at your
What if
house.
somebody came in here right now with us? There's 15 of us sitting right here smoking, drinking, and told me to change the way we do everything. We need to stop smoking, stop drinking. We kick their ass out the street,
I'm
right?
gonna listen to them.
So
I'm gonna see what they're saying
you
first.
may, but in general, you gonna tell me, bro, I worked enough. I worked hard every day to get the money, baby, to afford this. If I want some relaxation time and smoke cigars and drink, I'm gonna do it. So you go into the house and tell them their whole mentality, their whole way of life is wrong. How many of them are gonna listen to you?
It,
And
de-
this is
I
the
agree
men-
with you.
it
and that's
depends
the
on the
mentality.
people. Some people gonna listen,
But it's
some
gonna be
people not.
you gonna get a
Look,
percentage,
I-
but it's not gonna be a majority.
We already determined that Kanye West is not part of cancel culture.
No, we
He's
don't
not.
cancel Kanye.
I don't cancel Kanye.
But Nick Cannon is.
I don't cancel Nick
I don't
Cannon.
cancel Nick Cannon either.
I don't- yeah.
Only part I have with Nick Cannon is that he apologized.
I don't cancel Nick Cannon.
But is he in the same category with Kanye as far
Hell
as
no.
not being able to articulate what he wanted to say?
No, because Nick
He
Cannon
did articulate
he
himself.
articulated very well, and he's always been articulated very well. We only see Nick Cannon on TV. If you ever really look at Nick Cannon, his YouTube videos, his poetry, the things he's been saying for
very
years,
articulate.
it's very articulate. What he said the other day was not new.
You don't think
Yeah.
the platform
It
he
just
was
caught
on,
up with it the other day.
You don't
He
think,
caught up with it.
you
Caught
don't
up
think
with
the
it.
platform he was on had a lot to do with the way he was formulating his thoughts?
It was his own podcast.
no,
was
no,
it?
no, no,
The
no.
radio show?
That podcast
No,
he
that's-
was on, that the Cannon's class, that's his podcast.
That's his
if I'm not
podcast. He owns
mistaken.
that.
But look,
Was
to
he-
what Miles is saying,
Who did
he's
he have
been
on that show that day?
He had
Professor Griff.
Professor Griff.
He had
Okay, he had Griff.
And
So,
Griff,
okay.
and Griff got excommunicated from Public Enemy for the same shit.
Right.
But thing is, he's had
Nick Cannon
he's
had been
had-
saying that before the podcast.
But Nick Cannon's
though.
had Israelites on his phone. He's had
Yeah.
he's had those people on there before. It's just that it happened right now, and they caught up with him. But Nick Cannon has said the same stuff forever.
For years.
I've been a strong Nick Cannon supporter because as much as long as he don't rap and make comedy, it can't make comedy no more. I'm cool with Nick. But Nick
No more rapping.
No more
As
rapping,
long as
Nick.
he don't talk, we good.
No.
Shut up and dribble.
You can talk, but don't entertain me. As long as you don't try to entertain me.
Just
Because-
wild out.
Because what he's been, I do like
Don't
wild
wild
out.
out.
But what he's been saying for years has been very, very articulate, intelligent, and has been quote unquote woke. Like he's been doing that for years.
But see,
Yeah.
but that's the
Remember
And
that
on top
poem
of
he
that,
came
and
out
on top
with.
of that,
But that's-
Nick Cannon owns everything he's a part of.
But that's
Or
the
at least a
problem with
percentage of it.
cancel.
Except wilding out, he trying to get that.
No, but he owned a percentage of it with Viacom. He's trying to get it away from Viacom.
Yeah, so he can
But that's,
move it.
but that's the
That
problem with
makes
cancel
sense.
culture. Yeah, you may have been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years, but now the morality police have said, oh, okay, well, now it's a problem, and the shit's backdated. So we're going to go back, and not only is it backdated, it's arbitrary. So we're going to apply cancel culture to who we want, when we want, and not even evenly handed.
Right.
So that's the big
This-
problem with it.
this is the
They
thing
might
about-
get you. They might skip you. We don't know.
This is the thing about cancel
Do you
culture.
think Nick was getting too powerful?
No, I don't think so.
Hell yes.
He wasn't that powerful.
I think he was. I think
he was moving in the direction.
I
though.
think he is trying to move the needle, and I
he
think
was
that
always
was.
moving in the direction because
I think, but I don't think he's too. He said something about
Did he
Eminem,
get too Bill
and that
Cosby? Did he
kinda
get too
went under the,
big-headed?
under the
Wasn't
radar.
quite there, but they cut the head of the head of the snake quick.
But
though.
look, when it comes to cancel culture, it's beautiful when you guys are behind the people that are getting canceled. But when that cancellation come from your ass, the shit change. Because you could, that's the thing. It shifts. Cancel culture moves based on the mob. And so if the mob is against this today, if you in that lane, you're going to get canceled. We've seen people who was involved in the cancel culture turn around and get their ass canceled a week later.
And
when the mob changes their direction.
Yeah,
Right.
and what do I tell you about the mob? The mob always ends up eating itself. You can even think back to when Barack Obama was saying, you know what, pull your pants up, take care of your kids.
He was doing that Bill Cosby
They were
pound
trying
cake.
to come for him then.
that came from Bill Cosby. He said the same thing.
With the pound
And that's
cake.
what I don't understand about us as a people is that we say we want to be respected, but when one of us tell us how to be respected, we cancel them because we're saying.
I think the problem with Bill is Bill said it. He said it publicly in front of a bunch of white folks.
No, the problem with Bill is Bill said like your grandfather would tell you, and nobody wanted to hear it that way.
I think that's
and-
true.
and I
a
completely-
lot of people don't want to hear stuff the way that it comes out without no
Right.
filter.
People want to
Right.
hear
We
it, but
wanna
they
be
don't want to hear.
coddled.
Exactly.
You know what? They want to hear behind closed doors, and that's the thing. Just with us as black people, you don't want your dirty laundry aired.
But what's killed me
Everybody
is
knows the shit's fucked
Here's the
up,
deal, we'll
or whatever
cancel-
the situation
You
is.
just can't
but
say
you
it.
just don't want to say it
We'll-
on TV.
we'll cancel anybody that tells us to be better, but we won't cancel Tyler Perry's ass. We won't cancel these rappers who putting that bullshit out. We won't cancel these people who constantly make us look bad in front of TV. We don't cancel Wendy Williams. We don't cancel these people that get.
So you don't think Tyler Perry made up for whatever you thought he did that was wrong?
No, if you put him in another Madea movie out, he ain't made up shit. I don't give a fuck what you say.
I
Look.
put an
give you
image
another
out.
good example of somebody who won't cancel.
I think
Go ahead.
Tyler Perry saved it.
R. Kelly.
Here's the
no, I think R. Kelly got
he got his
canceled
card
by
back.
enough people.
But look
He ain't
how,
got canceled. All them chicks talk that shit, still getting banged to an R. Kelly scene.
Is that right?
but look
They
how
all still say it. They still get 12 plays, still working their shit.
look how long it took from like 1990.
We been knowing R. Kelly was
until
smashing
now.
chicks.
Everybody knew
Oh,
R.
yeah,
Kelly
everybody
was on
knew.
some
We all
pedophile
watched the
shit,
movie.
hanging out at the McDonald's in front of the house. Everybody knew that shit.
Delvin, we
But
talk
as
about
long-
it all
as
the
long
time.
As you can be entertained as long as you can
Look,
make people shake their
Pimp
ass,
C said he
you're
did it.
gonna get a pass.
Delvin, if you like somebody, what they're doing is fine until you dislike them.
Or until everybody else is like him and you want to be the one.
Until the mob switches. Because R. Kelly, you right, was okay until like sentiments just started to be bad enough. Bill Cosby, even though a lot of people dislike Bill Cosby had people in high places that still liked him. And so it's when them
Until they
people in
try to
high
get their
places
control.
started to dislike him, that's when it switched. They knew Bill Cosby been
I
sleeping
mean,
with women
that
roofie
was
since
that
the
Me Too
70s.
shit. Everybody was doing pills and roofie coladas back in the day and shit.
That shit sat on the table like Skittles.
It's Skittles, yeah. I mean, that's like now if somebody come and say, yeah,
I
Delvin
don't-
touched my butt in like
I
1989.
don't agree with that though. I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't have any proof,
I'm gonna
but
tell you
fuck
why I don't agree with that. There's a comedian. He passed away about 6-7 years ago, and him and we spoke, and we spoke, a good amount. We real cool, right? And I put it to you like this: he was on BET with Miss Laura. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. And so he was telling me about Bill Cosby a long time ago before this Bill Cosby stuff came out. I know other people who hung out with Bill Cosby in circles, and they were like, yeah, in the 70s, it was like 79, and we sitting at a table, and the conversation go like this. You a heavyweight champion. You a guy on TV. Everybody know you, so are you. And the conversations go like this. Man, we all get all the women we want, and so do he. And they say, but for some reason, he liked to knock them out first. And this was in 79.
Hold on. Bill Cosby was on national TV in the 80s talking about giving girls Spanish fly.
Spanish fly.
That shit is not new. We all talked about Spanish fly.
I'm not
We
talking
talked
about
this
being
shit.
new.
But the point is, that's the disingenuousness about cancel culture. All of these people that are really kind of driving this, even the Me Too movement, they all knew this shit, and now they want to act outraged, like, oh my God, I can't believe it's gambling going on in this casino. You knew that.
Well, this is the thing. When it came to Bill Cosby, is one thing. Okay, you come to the room and you gonna give it to me, right? It's another thing, you gonna give it to me, but I put something in your drink and knock you out because I like having sex with women while they're incapacitated. That's what Bill Cosby is doing. So yeah, they'll go up there and they gonna give it to him. Go read the depositions. Go read some of them testimonies. Go read some of this shit. Bill Cosby, yeah, they was gonna give it to him. He
But my
still
point,
knocked their
it's
ass out.
easy to come
That's
for the-
a condition, isn't that?
Here-
What is that
yeah,
called?
That's
It's
a fucking sickness.
That is a real
But
But
condition.
here's the deal, though.
Too,
That's
it's
not
easy to come
that's
for
not
the
the
king.
chicks that got him hemmed up. It was those chicks that came out the woodworks talking about he was actually like physically. Right, like they had the one girl got on TV. That's the one lady got on TV said that she tried to give that he tried. She went to his house for an audition. He tried to take it, and when she wouldn't give it to him, he took her outside and threw her in the cab, beat up, took her and threw her in the cab. Like ain't no way in the world Bill Cosby throwing nobody in the cab.
Well,
and,
see,
Bill Cosby was, when that even possibly happened? Bill Cosby, what, 75 years old?
but here's the deal
So
though.
75
You
year old
live,
man
everybody
beat
know Bill Cosby live on that street in New York. Ain't you throw him in the cab middle of the day,
Well,
you gonna know what the fuck happened.
you see what you guys are doing is sort
And
of
he's
a
75.
What you guys are doing is sort of a misnomer. The overwhelming amount of women saying, "Yeah, we went up there, we woke up, and my stuff was in pain. I woke up and my clothes was ripped off, my coochie was hurt." Bill Cosby was knocking them out and
but my-
taking it. Did any of his colleagues say, "You know what? I don't think Bill Cosby did it"? They silent. They know.
Just like R. Kelly's people. My point is, it's easy to come for the king when he's 175 years old. You didn't come for the king when the Cosby Show was on season 3.
That's not true either. They were coming for Bill Cosby.
He came for Boston when he tried to buy NBC.
Nah, Bill Cosby wasn't the only person trying to buy NBC.
He's the only black person trying to buy
Bill
NBC.
Cosby came with a deal that was like $300 million lower than even, they weren't even trying to sell it. But there were other people at the table along. Bill Cosby didn't give a tangible deal. If Bill Cosby wanted to start a network, he could have started a network.
Oprah did.
He could have started a network. That's just something to say. Bill Cosby was just being a creep. And then people was coming after him. The
90s?
first time he got sued was in the 90s. Bill Cosby got $500 million. You know how many motherfuckers you could keep quiet with $500 million that don't have nothing?
Let me ask you this. If you really that upset you getting raped, you gonna take the money or you gonna get them done?
A lot of them was trying to get them done. I won't
But
say
they
a
took
lot
the
of them,
money
but there
instead,
were
though.
some of them trying to
They
get
took
them
the money
done.
instead, though.
Yeah, they did.
Then
A lot of
you're
them
valid-
did, and you're right about that. And I don't agree with that either. I'm just saying there is another side of it. To just say that I don't think that every single woman in the world was lying on Bill Cosby. And I don't, and again,
He had over 30 people come out and say
and I'm
rape.
not one of them
And
people
like
that want to
10 of
see
them
a black
retracted their
man go
statements.
down.
So, okay. All right.
All right.
I'm not saying.
Say me and you are cool. and
I'm not saying I didn't say that.
if you get 3 people to accuse you of rape,
no, and I'm not.
I'm looking at you crazy.
And I'm not, and I agree with you. That's why I'm not taking the 20 people for granted because 10 people retracted their statement, right? So I'm just saying those numbers are inflated. If it's one too many. I agree with you 1,000%, right? So why you don't care about Biden's 9?
I didn't say I didn't care about Biden.
So why you vote for? Would you vote for Bill Cosby president?
Fuck no.
Then why? Cause
I'd vote for Bill before Biden.
I would in a heartbeat.
If Bill got out and could run for president, I'd vote
do
for
in a
Bill.
heartbeat.
Because he done been to the pen.
I wanna go back
He
to
know
something.
what it's like now.
So I wanna go
He
back to
know
something.
what it's like.
I'll go back to something. Why does Tyler Perry make up for what he's done?
Because
Explain what he's done.
So Tyler Perry has constantly put out negative images that we have to answer for. Tyler Perry don't have to answer for.
What, a man in a dress?
That it's not just a man in a dress.
That is a
I don't
part
care-
of it, though.
That's part of it, but I think the images, whether it be Madea or Brown or whatever the case may be, that
Brown
image,
is your uncle.
But here's the deal, though. So he may be my uncle, but I'm not making fun of my uncle to the masses because of the fact that there's a huge. We talk about we only 15% of this country. 85% of this country don't know black folks. So the only image they get is what we put out, whether it be music, media, TV. That's what they get. And there was a time, and we all know to know this, when black TV was very positive. There was a time when black music was very positive. And not a long time ago, I'm talking 90s, mid-90s, right? We
Family
had
Matters.
Family Matters. We had Cosby Show. We had Different World.
We had BET
We
After
had-
Dark.
We,
There was more
There
of a
was- there
balance.
was
It was
BET
a balance.
After Dark.
Always some
you know, there's
random
always
shit
some, but
popping
there,
off.
I agree with you 1,000%. There's always a balance,
But that was the minority.
But that was the minority, not the majority. And then at some point, all of a sudden, one year it went from that.
Uncle Luke.
It went all. We had some. We did,
Some.
but
It was a good mix.
But,
How about that?
But we always had antithesis to what was being put out there.
True.
At some point, it switched from that to all the music was Soulja Boy.
True.
All the TV was Tyler Perry.
True.
At one point in time, there wasn't another black person making movies or TV shows than Tyler Perry.
But how many people was he putting to work though?
But how many people was he killing in the process? If you employ 20 people to support your drug empire, but you done kill the whole neighborhood, is that make up for it?
So you telling me that all the crack dealers that sold crack and killed everybody in the neighborhood, but
because you build a supermarket,
but
don't make
gave
it
away turkeys on Thanksgiving,
Don't
that
make it-
turkey didn't matter?
Fuck no, don't change what you did.
The beat dead, then dead broke again. See these doors that's been opening. Notice a change just from focusing. I'm really starting to feel dope again. Look, rose till the sun come. Mama knows that the sunset. Let's vacate with the sun shining and see the cuties in a sundress. I'm convinced I make history, so I shouldn't let the little things get to me. I should see any presents as a gift to me.
No, in the history of side niggering, has anybody ever dropped a diss track?
That's a major key. Can't afford to act anxiously. Just remain the same patient me. Just kick it with my team. Champagne, live, laugh. So much that you spanking knee. See?
Left the hood, live in Hollywood. Never Hollywood, you can never take the hood out me. Pop us a bottle, I'm drowning my sorrows. Them to the pain, we just pray for tomorrow. When they wanna talk, why they talking like we made it? Whole crew lifted and we still getting faded. Eyes low, baby, I can rest when I die. Cause I know my loved ones watching from the sky. Oh, I. Rose till the sun come.
Rose till the sun come. Mama knows that the sunset.
Oh, I. Rose till the sun come.
Vacate with the sun shining and see the cuties in the sundress.